the one command that unlocks unlimited wealth, beloved. I stand before you to declare a truth that has been hidden in plain sight, a truth so simple that most overlook it, and yet so powerful that it holds the key to unlimited wealth. The world has taught men and women to toil, to strive, to compete, and to clutch at life's treasures as though they were scarce. But Spirit whispers another word, a higher law, a divine command that unlocks every gate of abundance. Wealth is not something you chase. Wealth is something you command, and when you speak the right word, the universe obeys. For the spoken word is the rod of power, the tongue is the instrument of creation. Your word is your wand, and tonight I will reveal the one command that no one speaks of, yet it has been the golden key for every soul who has dared to use it. Whatever you decree with authority, believing it to be established, must come to pass. Too many live as though they were victims of circumstance, but in truth, they are victims of their own words. Life does not hand you what you wish for, it hands you what you command. You see, the divine law is always listening. It does not rest. It does not sleep. It does not argue. It does not reason. It only obeys. And your every word is a command issued to the invisible substance of life. When you say, I lack, life bows its head and says, so be it. When you say, I am abundantly supplied, life bows again and says, so be it. It is impartial, unchanging, unwavering. That is why the wise guard their tongues as they would guard a treasure chest of gold. The ordinary man believes his speech is idle, mere chatter with no consequence. He gossips of failure, rehearses debts, and proclaims poverty as though it were a badge of honor. And then he wonders why his world is filled with want. But the awakened soul understands that every word is seed, and that seed must bear fruit after its kind. You do not plant thorns and harvest roses. You do not sow weeds and reap wheat. So too you cannot speak want and reap wealth. When you understand this law, you become the captain of your fate, the architect of your fortune. You no longer drift upon the sea of chance, but you stand upright and issue the command that parts the waters before you. Let me tell you, words are vibratory forces. They go forth upon the unseen ether and set currents in motion. When spoken with faith, they penetrate every obstacle. They dissolve resistance. They summon men, circumstances, and events to carry out their decree. The timid man says, I hope it will come. The one with authority says, it is already here, and I command it into manifestation. The difference between the two is the difference between delay and demonstration. Now, many people live by asking instead of commanding. They beg God as though he were reluctant. They plead with life as though it were stingy. But the divine is neither reluctant nor stingy. The storehouse of heaven is filled to overflowing, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. There is no limit in God, only in man's ability to claim. And how do you claim? Not by wishful thinking, but by command. You stand and speak with the authority of one who knows they are heir to the kingdom. You do not ask timidly for crumbs. You declare boldly for the feast. For wealth is not something you strive to get. It is something you call forth with the word. Listen well, every man and woman already lives surrounded by unlimited supply. There is no lack in the universe. What appears as lack is only the shadow of unspoken authority. The gold, the opportunities, the ideas, the open doors, they all exist, but they wait, like soldiers at attention, for the command of your word. Until you speak, they remain still. Once you speak, they march. When you say, I am prospered, prosperity moves toward you. When you say, I am rich in every good and perfect gift, opportunities rise from hidden corners. When you say, I walk in divine abundance, the invisible wealth of heaven takes visible form in your affairs. The tongue is a rudder, small but mighty. A ship in a storm may be tossed by winds, beaten by waves, yet its direction is not determined by the storm, it is determined by the rudder. So it is with you. The storm of appearances may rage about you. Bills may rise, doors may close, men may say no, but your word, like a rudder, turns the whole ship and points it to safe harbor. The trouble is not with the supply, the trouble is with the command. Too many say, it is hard, money is scarce, times are bad, I never get ahead. And the law, impartial as it is, says, yes, it is so. Then they come to me and say, why is life against me? And I tell them, life is not against you. Life is obeying you. The question is, what are you commanding? Do you command with fear or with faith? Do you command with complaint or with certainty? The divine substance hears every whisper, every murmur, every idle word. That is why Scripture warns, By your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. It is not God who condemns you, nor fate, nor man. It is your own tongue setting the law in motion. I say to you tonight, let your speech become a conscious instrument of creation. Do not speak of what you fear. Speak of what you desire. Do not rehearse poverty. Declare abundance. Do not magnify debts. Command supply. Every word you speak must be weighed as though it were gold, for indeed it is more powerful than gold. It is the magnet that draws gold to you. The law is simple. What you decree, you demonstrate. What you withhold by your words, you cannot receive. Wealth is not created by labor alone, nor by scheming, nor by anxious striving. Wealth is called forth by the command of the one who knows their word carries the authority of spirit. So tonight I say, begin to command your wealth. Begin to speak as one who has dominion. Stand in the midst of appearances and declare, I am rich, I am supplied, I am prosperous, I am abundant. Say it not once but continually, until it becomes the vibration of your being, and soon the invisible will bow to the visible, and what you commanded in faith will stand before you in form. Beloved, this is the first law of unlimited wealth, the law of the spoken command. Guard your word, and you will guard your fortune. Direct your tongue, and you will direct your destiny. Speak with authority, and the treasures of heaven and earth will hasten to obey. 2. The forgotten command of wealth. Beloved, we have spoken of the law of the spoken command. Now let us go deeper into the one command that unlocks unlimited wealth, the command that few know, fewer still use, and yet it is the key to dissolving every appearance of lack. The command is this: I am supplied, and I cannot be denied. It is simple, yet it carries the force of divine authority. These words contain the vibration of truth. They affirm both the presence of supply and the certainty of its manifestation. Let us unfold it together, phrase by phrase. When you say, I am supplied, you declare a present reality. You are not asking, not hoping, not postponing to the future. You are stating what is already so in the invisible. For supply exists eternally in spirit, waiting to take form. It is not something you earn by toil or chase by anxiety. It is yours by right, for you are a child of the infinite. To say, I am supplied, is to plant your feet upon the ground of truth and refuse the illusions of lack. You may see empty purses, unpaid bills, doors closed, opportunities missed, but when you speak, I am supplied, you override the evidence of the senses with the authority of spirit. You claim what is unseen, and the unseen must shape the seen. Now the second part, and I cannot be denied. This is the hammer that drives the nail. For it is one thing to affirm supply, but if you leave the door open to doubt, fear will creep in and rob you of your harvest. The moment you say, I am supplied, the adversary of the mind whispers, but what if not? What if this fails? What if the door never opens? That whisper is denial. That whisper is theft. But when you add, and I cannot be denied, you slam the door in the face of fear. You speak as one who knows their inheritance. You stand as heir to the kingdom, not as beggar at the gate. You declare to every doubt, every obstacle, every opposing circumstance, you have no authority over me. You cannot block what God has ordained. I cannot be denied. This is the forgotten command. Few use it because few dare to speak with authority. Men are trained to plead, to hope, to struggle. They say, if it be God's will. Beloved, abundance is always God's will, for He is the giver of every good and perfect gift. Poverty is not divine. Scarcity is not holy. Lack is not sacred. They are but shadows born of fear and false belief. The command works because it calls forth the truth that already is. When you speak it daily, morning and night, you anchor yourself in certainty. You rewire your thought. You reprogram your expectation. And the outer world must rearrange itself to reflect your inner decree. Let me give you an example. A woman once came to me, drowning in debt. Creditors hounded her. Opportunities eluded her, and she had rehearsed for years the refrain, I can never get ahead. I taught her this command, I am supplied, and I cannot be denied. She looked at me with doubt, but I told her, say it until it burns in you. Say it when you rise, when you walk, when fear strikes, when the bills arrive. Say it until it is the only voice in you. She obeyed. Within weeks, unexpected money came. A forgotten account was returned to her. A friend repaid an old debt. Then new opportunities opened, and the tide turned. Did this happen by chance? No, beloved, it happened by command. Her words called forth the supply that had always been waiting, and by sealing it with "I cannot be denied," she shut out fear. Another man, unemployed for months, grew weary of rejection. Every application returned with silence. He felt cursed. I told him to stop repeating "I cannot find work," and to begin commanding, "I am supplied, and I cannot be denied." He resisted at first, saying, "But there are no jobs." I told him, "Do not speak of appearances, speak of supply." He did as I instructed. He repeated the command, not once but continually, until it carried power. Within days, a position opened in a field he had not considered, offering more pay than he had dreamed. Again, was this coincidence? No. This was the law responding to command. Beloved, understand, you cannot beg wealth into your life. You cannot cry it in, worry it in, or chase it in. You must command it. And this command is the golden key. I am supplied, and I cannot be denied. Use it in every situation. When bills arrive, do not tremble. Lay your hand upon them and declare, "I am supplied, and I cannot be denied." When opportunities seem scarce, say it again, "I am supplied, and I cannot be denied." When fear whispers in the night, rise up and speak it aloud, until the vibration of faith drives out every shadow. Do not wait for feelings to align before you speak. Speak and feelings will follow. Do not wait for evidence before you decree. Decree, and evidence will appear. The law does not respond to moods, it responds to words spoken with authority. Now some may ask, but what if I do not believe it when I say it? Then I tell you, keep saying it until belief grows. The farmer does not wait to feel faith before planting the seed. He plants, knowing the law of growth will do the rest. So too, plant these words daily, and faith will grow in their soil. Remember also, wealth is not only money, wealth is opportunities, ideas, health, strength, favor, open doors, right people, right place, right time. When you say, "I am supplied," you are calling forth not only gold but every form of good you require. And when you say, "I cannot be denied," you ensure that no barrier can stand in the way of its arrival. Beloved, begin to practice this command as a holy habit. Write it upon your mirror. Place it on your desk. Whisper it as you walk. Declare it when fear rises. Speak it until it becomes the heartbeat of your soul. I am supplied, and I cannot be denied. For those who live by this command, wealth becomes natural. Doors open of their own accord. Men and women are moved to help them. Ideas drop into their minds like golden coins from heaven. Opportunities appear as if by miracle. And yet it is not miracle, it is law. The universe is a servant, not a master. It waits upon the word of faith. Give it the command, and it must obey. This is why Scripture declares, "Say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and it shall be cast into the sea, if you do not doubt in your heart." Your mountain of debt, your mountain of fear, your mountain of lack, they are waiting for your word. Say to them with authority, "I am supplied, and I cannot be denied," and watch them crumble. So I close this teaching with a charge to you. Take up this forgotten command. Use it daily. Use it boldly. Use it without wavering. Speak as one who knows their inheritance, for the treasures of heaven are yours, but they await your decree. Wealth is not far from you. It is not withheld. It is here now waiting for your word. Speak it. I am supplied, and I cannot be denied. And watch as life rushes to obey.